welcome to Binalogy, where I teach you biology.
And I teach you the analogy. By the way, I am so much better than this one, and you will actually understand what I am saying.
Hey, you're supposed to be nice this month. Anyways, over the next couple of videos, we'll be going over genetics. This video, we'll talk about the cell cycle and mitosis. On with the biology.
And the analogy.
Cue intro.
Stupid.
First, let's talk about what the cell cycle exactly is. The cell cycle is nothing more than the set of stages in which a eukaryotic cell divides and its daughter cells also divide.
Cell are like the perfect copies that you want as your children, okay? Because you bloody perfect, okay? And they're stupid. One day I asked my daughter to do something, she say no. I say, excuse me, she say no, okay? They're stupid these days. They don't want to do what you want them to do, and they do their own thing because they're different from you. There you go. Yeah.
Daughter cells are formed through asexual reproduction, and simpler cells like protists and bacteria also divide through this method. Multicellular organisms reproduce via sexual reproduction, but we'll talk about that in another video.
Kids, this very bad, okay? You should do this one after marriage, okay? These days, kids are doing it, and they're doing it in movies, and it's very bad, and it's just stupid, and don't do this one before the, oh!
Anyways, so the cell cycle is made up of three main components. The first one is interphase, and this is also the largest stage. It consists of the G1 stage, where the cell grows, the S stage, where the DNA in the cell replicates, and the G2 stage, which the cell grows again. It's also composed of the meiotic phase, which is when the nucleus splits, and cytokinesis is when the cytoplasm divides. So there are different checkpoints. So the cell cycle does not just keep going, or else crazy stuff like cancer happens. There is the G1 checkpoint, the S checkpoint, the G2 checkpoint, and the M checkpoint. JK, there's no S checkpoint.
Think of this one like border patrol, okay? You are going on the road trip, and you going over the United States-Canada border, and they want to make sure you okay before you proceed to Canada, and they also want to make sure they get your money if you're doing something bad.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Before you proceed to the next phase, I need to make sure a few things and make sure that you underwent the G1 phase properly.
Okay.
So, looks like your DNA is not damaged, so you don't have to undergo apoptosis, because that would be bad.
Oh, good. I didn't want to die today.
Yep, okay. But unfortunately, I don't see any growth signals present, so you're gonna have to spend time in the GO Slammer.
No.
Mommy, where's my maple syrup? From Canada, Mommy, my maple syrup.
We got better things to worry about.
No!
Folks, if the DNA is damaged or doesn't replicate properly in any part of the cell cycle, then bam, apoptosis occurs and nothing grows. The cell is killed before anyone else dies. Now, if the cell does not receive the proper growth signals, then the cell is arrested in the GO phase, which means that it doesn't grow, it just is dormant. Now, your nerve cells are permanently locked in the GO phase. That just gets on my nerves.
Stupid.
Okay, no, that's it. Jar, right now. Shame jar. Coin
Why?
in. You now.
Stupid.
Really? The cell has to start preparing for replication with the S phase. So your body cells have 46 chromosomes. So eventually they will replicate and divide to have 46 chromosomes in each daughter cell. Now gametes undergo meiosis, which is sexual reproduction, which we'll talk about in a later video.
Kids, this very bad, okay? Don't do this one. before the marriage.
Yes, we know, okay? Got it.
She's so mean to me. Why don't she put something in shame jar?
Because I'm the director. In the G2 stage, the cell begins to synthesize proteins to help assist them in division. Following this phase is the checkpoint, where Border Patrol checks that your DNA is replicated properly and not damaged. That would be tragic.
Yeah, tragic like her jokes.
Okay, nope, that's it. Go again. Smiley face jar. You put money in.
It's got the shame jar. You're not even saying it correctly. I need this for groceries.
Nope, put the 20 in. There you go. It pays to be nice, kids. Now, after the G2 phase, the cell has one last checkpoint. The spindle, or M checkpoint, occurs when the cell goes from metaphase to anaphase. This occurs in the meiotic stage of the cell cycle. The checkpoint makes sure that the chromosomes align properly on the spindle.
It's like the teacher you hoped you never got, okay? They assigned you in your classroom by alphabetical order, and then they push you so hard that you start crying. You go home and you like, Mummy, he hurting me, he very mean, this, that, okay? And he pushed you so much in class to the point where you cry, right, okay? And then one day, you come up, you stand up to him, and you say, why'd you give us so much work? And they say, because I need to make sure you're under so much stress that you can't have time for anything else. Okay, there you go, meiotic spindle. Stopper. Spindle checkpoint.
And the spindle checkpoint is the last checkpoint.
That is all today, folks. Okay, stay tuned for the next episode of Binalogy. Okay, next time we're talking about. I don't want to say this one.
Meiosis and sexual reproduction.
Oy.
Bye.
Created using Powtoon.